Hi guys, it's Lexi, and today we are continuing our playthrough in the zero point 0.6 experimental version, and I thought I would dedicate this video to the electronics factory since that is the most complex one in the game and the electronics products have the most complex recipe there is. So I thought it would be fun to try and open one together. Now, I already have my warehouses rented because I tried to rent two more warehouses because they are mostly owned by the rivals and they refuse to rent to me. So I have some difficulties in renting out warehouses in order to open my factories, but I already have two prepared. Now, for the warehouses, I don't really like the layout of most of them because most of the space is taken up by the ramps for the trucks, so it doesn't leave us with a lot of space to place the machines. So for the electronics factory, I would recommend using this factory from 6th and 12th Street, or you could also use the one from 46th Avenue. But for today, we are going to use this factory right here. So we are going to start an electronics factory. And that's it. Now, we just need to order the machines. And I'm going to do that by contacting Factory Supply Depot. In case you are new and you haven't reached the store yet, you can find it in the Lower Manhattan area. I already visited it, so this means I have the contact stored. So now, let's get down to adding everything that we need for the electronics factory, and we are going to need a lot of machines and especially conveyor belts. I want to open a factory for phones, so we are going to make a double factory for Artifish phones and Zanaman phones. And then, finally, at the end, we will also test this factory and see if it can sustain the supply and demand for at least one small store. Alright, so I think I have everything that I need. I ordered about 60 conveyor belts and I hope that they will be enough. If not, we will order more, that's not a problem. And then we will have 4 consumer goods assembly machines, 4 conveyor belt splitters, 12 input stations, 2 output stations, 2 kill machines and 2 laser cutting machines, and then some storage shelves and some pallet shelves. And in total, this is going to be 2.2 million. So for a factory that produces both type of phones, I think this is an acceptable price. But I guess in the end, we will just need to put it to the test and see for ourselves. But now, in the meantime, I also need to see if my headhunters has found some factory workers, so we can assign them as soon as we finish placing the machines in the factory. But I guess I'll see you tomorrow at the warehouse, at the factory actually, so we can start assembling it. Alright, so I'm now at the factory and our delivery has just arrived, so this means we are ready to start assembling our factory. First things first, I will start with the circuit board machine, which is going to be starting from this side. And then here in the middle, we will have the 2 assembly machines for both phones. And now I just need to place the input station for the circuit board machine and set the raw ingredients for it. And then we will connect this circuit board machine to the assembly machines. And now the only thing left is to set up the raw ingredients for each of these input stations. I will just simply hover on the machine itself so I know what ingredients to add. So we will also need integrated circuits. And that will be it. Now I will also set up these machines for the Xanaman phone, and that's gonna be it. So we will have just one circuit board machine, which is then split, and it goes directly to the phone assembly machines. Now I tried to make a factory that used the same machines to make two different products, the phones, and I managed to do it. It worked kinda, because I had trapped some employees in a circle like this one, and they were not able to escape and get some inventory to place into the machines, so I had troubles with that. You could counter this by placing a shelf near this prison for the employee with the ingredient that they need, but that I wasn't going to do that because that's not really the point of factories, right? So in the end, we will not be able to use all of the machines to make two products, but we are trying to optimize as much as we can. So this is why we will have just one machine for circuit boards, and then we will also need to place one machine for audio modules, which is going to be just one. And then each of them will have their own kiln machine and laser cutting machine. So that's how the design is going to go. Right, so we took care of one machine. Now I think I'll move on to the audio module machine, which I'm going to connect to both of them. Alright, and that's also the audio module machine. And we are going to set that up, and I also need to place the input machines for this audio modules. And so I'm going to place one here and one on the other side. Since for the audio modules we are going to need just two ingredients, the microphones and speakers. So that's going to be it. I can already also set them up. And that's going to be it for the audio modules. Now, we just need to place the kiln machine and the laser cutting machine. And for each of them, of course. And I think that would be it. And lastly, we will also need a battery input station, which is going to be separate. So I am going to go ahead and place a kiln machine for each of them. And I'll see you after that. Okay, so I finished placing one kiln machine and one battery input station for the Artifish phone, but I've actually ran out of conveyor belts. whilst I was placing the second kiln machine. So we will have to make one more delivery for some conveyor belts so we can finish the design, but it's coming out pretty nice. We only need to place this kiln machine, and then we will also have the laser cutting machines, and I guess that would be it for the factory. So we are definitely going to finish tomorrow. In the meantime, I will call the factory supply depot to order more conveyor belts, and I'll see you tomorrow at the factory. Okay, so our delivery is here, so this means that we can continue where we left off. Alright, so it's a bit crowded, but in the end, I managed to place every machine that we need, and without, hopefully, imprisoning employees, without giving them the possibility to go out and get some inventory for our machines. Now I just need to make sure that I set up every raw ingredient for the machine correctly, so we don't have any surprises. So we will need plastic for the kiln machine. This is an output station. Glass for the laser cutting machine. And of course we also need to set up what we are making. So we need molded smartphones for this one. For the laser cutting machine we will have screen medium. Alright, so a couple of in-game days later and I'm back at the factory. Now I have my schedule for the warehouse, for the electronics factory, filled. And you actually need one part-time employee and 3 full-time employees in order to fill the entire 24 schedule. So I already took care of that. We also have some inventory right here, and this means that it is time to open the factory, and I hope that every employee will be able to do their job. Well, apparently that one can't. So we will have to take care of that because they can't move and they cannot get the glass for the laser cutting machine. So let's go on the other side and have a look at it. And why isn't anybody... Oh, yeah, never mind, the employee is coming. So I will have to close it for now so I can move this. Okay, so I managed to fix that, and now this employee has gone to take some glass for our laser cutting machine, and now I'm just making, a tour of this factory just to make sure that everything is going smoothly and we do not have any production issues. Alright, so the Xenaman phone assembled machine is working as expected. But we have some issues. I don't think I've ordered enough glass. I think that all the glass that we have has been taken by this employee. So now the other machine cannot run. So I think we will need to order just a bit more glass. And I think same goes for plastic, since we have two machines that need it. But apart from that, everything seems to run as expected, and I don't really think we have any issues. Alright, so now that we successfully opened an electronics factory, we just need to put it to the test. So I already have two electronic stores on this save, but I would like to open a new one, as just, a small electronic store, the one with 75 square meters. Let's see if we have any space available, and I think we have, oh no, this is 225. I just want a 75 one. And I did find a space available in Lower Manhattan. We have this building with a 41 traffic index, 41 customer capacity, 15 traffic index, and 75 square meters. So let's open an electronics store here. And now I think I'm just going to apply a blueprint to it. I just need two tables, and I will set those tables to sell Xenaman phones and Artifice phones, so we can test the output of our factory and see if it is enough, so we don't really run out of inventory for that business. So yeah, I think I'm just going to call the blueprint installation company, and hopefully tomorrow we will also be able to open the electronic store. Alright, so this is going to be our new electronic store. I chose the modern blueprint that is just basic, that comes from the game. I see that they've added 6 tables, but we are interested in selling just 2 products. So I'm going to pack these tables for now. Or actually we could leave them as an assign, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we only need 2 tables for the Artifish phone and 2 tables for the Zanaman phone. And each of them holds 8 products. So now we have everything that we need here. Now I just have to assign the customer service employees. And also I think, yeah, I've hired also a logistics manager that we have to assign. So we can assign them to the electronics factory, and then we will set up the delivery. So let's say we need 30 products as the minimum stock amount, and we will see if that will be enough. Now I'm just going to go back to my apartment, and then we just need to assign the customer service employees, but first they will need a uniform, and then assign them to Great Devices. Alright, so we have the customer service employees. We do not have any inventory yet, but let me first set up the price. And now I'm just going to wait until the next day for some inventory to be delivered so we can actually open it. Okay, so the electronics store has been running for 2 in-game days, and we only sold 12 phones so far, which isn't that great, but I mean the store is just at the beginning. Initially I had set the price too high and I did not sell anything in the first day, but now we are starting to have some sales. So the average per day would be 6 phones sold, so the factory is doing pretty much okay. Now if we take a look at the other electronic store that we have, we are selling about 66 phones within a 7-day period, and 72 Zanaman phones, same in a 7-day period. And if we look at the other electronic store, no, so apparently I only had one electronic store and I now opened the second one, so I did not have 2 electronic store. But even so, if we compare how much phones we are selling in a 7-day period, I think the factory will be enough for the both businesses that I have right now, so for a small and medium store. So I think that the electronics factory is doing pretty well, considering that it's able to sustain at least 2 stores. But I don't know exactly how many businesses it can sustain, because I don't really have any information right now about the production per hour, because I think it doesn't detect the batteries. So the factory is running. I do have some manufactured products in my stock, but I can't see how many of them are produced in an hour. So once that is fixed, we will also be able to see that information. But for now, I'm pretty satisfied with how it's going. So yeah, I think the electronic factory is a good investigation if you want to open one. And if you watched this far, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.